Hi, so we are going to be talking about fishes today. And you might be like, hey, Mr. Dean, fishes isn't a word. If you're talking about more than one species of fish, then it's called fishes. So when you talk about sharks and sunfish and clownfish, all of those together would be called fishes. So these right here are bony fish, and these are the ones in marine, so one is in the ocean, and these would be lake. So fishes in general are aquatic vertebrates, so they're chordates that have paired fins, see one on each side, paired fins, scales, and gills, and not all of them have scales. This is bony fish. These fish have scales. These are the ones you think of when you think of fish. When you go fishing, ice fishing, or fishing in the summer, you catch largemouth bass, or you catch perch, you catch bluegill and sunfish, catfish, whatever. So those are all bony fish. And you do need to know, like, here's their mouth, their eye. This is the operculum. The operculum is a gill cover. So usually when people hold the fish and they get their picture taken with the fish, they're holding it by the operculum. On the top here, remember dorsal means back. So this would be the dorsal fin in the top. Pelvic, if you think of where your pelvis is and you hold the fish up, like if you were to pretend these are feet, this is the pelvic. That's how I remember. Where's pelvic? Okay, that would be right here. Pectoral fin is right here because your pec muscles are right here. So they call that the pectoral fin. That would be like at the fish's chest. This is the anal fin because right here is the anus. So that's called their anal fin. And then this is the caudal fin. Caudal means tail. So that's the caudal fin. So if I were to ask you what fins are found on the dorsal side, you'd say the dorsal fins. What fins are found on the posterior side, you'd say caudal fin. What fins are found, oopsie, sorry. On the ventral side, you'd say pelvic fin and anal fin. And on the inside, you have the mouth here, and then that leads to the esophagus and the stomach, and then the intestine and the anus. Bony fish have something called a swim bladder that helps them to go up and down. So the fins help them to move around in the bladder when you fill it up or it deflates. It helps it to go up and down for buoyancy. The fish evolution, the first vertebrates to evolve were jawless with bony plates. Then jaws evolved and paired fins evolved. So what do you think advantages jaws had? Yeah, probably to eat, huh? And then cartilage is a strong tissue. Think of your nose and your ears. Those are completely made of cartilage. It supports the body, and it's softer and more flexible. You saw me move my nose and my ear, more flexible than bone. So fish are adapted to aquatic life. They eat a ton of, some of them eat plants, so they're herbivores, some of them eat only meat, they're carnivores, and some of them eat both. They have specialized structures for gas exchange called gills. Very good. They get their oxygen from the water. And like I said, they have paired fins for movement. So we went over all of these, and caudal, dorsal, and they have scales. Catfish don't have scales, but like these do. Lateral line, they use that to sense movement. So if your boat is coming, they might use their lateral line to sense that. And the operculum, remember that means gill cover. If you're like, what were you saying? Operculum, it's the mouth. Pectoral fin is up here, pelvic fin is here. And this is a picture of those first fish I was talking about. They lived about 510 million years ago. They were jawless and they had bony plates. And like I said, jaws and paired fins evolved to make them more adapted to live and to eat more things. They can also defend themselves by biting if necessary. So now there's two groups of fishes. There is one with cartilage called cartilaginous fish and one with true bone, which are the bony fish. So all we're going to talk about today is the bony fish. Fish use their gills to exchange gases by pulling the oxygen-rich water in through their mouths. So they take the water in through their mouths, it goes over their gills, and it pushes the oxygen-poor water through the gill openings. So the water goes in their mouths. They take the oxygen out. I'm pointing right here, like I have a gill here. So how about I point here? With this fancy thing called the water goes in their mouth. They take the oxygen out here, and then the oxygen poor water comes out. So they take the oxygen out of the water. So it goes in their mouths and out their gills. So here's kind of a picture of what I was talking about, circulation in fish. So this is where these are little capillary beds where diffusion occurs. If you remember, diffusion is moving from high concentration to low with no energy. So if there's a high concentration of oxygen in the blood, it's going to diffuse into the cells if there's a low concentration there. there's a high concentration of carbon dioxide in the cells, it's going to diffuse into the blood to be excreted out the gills. So that's kind of how that works. And anytime you talk about the circulatory system, red is oxygen rich and blue is oxygen poor. We talked about the swim bladder, that deals with buoyancy. All right, so here's the three groups of fish. I think I said two before, but I meant to say three. Jawless fish, cartilaginous fish, and bony fish. So jawless fish have no true teeth or jaws. Their skeletons are made of fibers of cartilage, and they lack vertebrae and keep their notochords as adults. Here is a lamprey. They're known as, we're going to watch these videos, but if you Google videos of parasites, lamprey parasites, you can see they attach onto the sides of fish, and they're very aggressive, and then they can kill the fish, they can harm the fish, they reproduce very easily, and it really hinders the fishermen who like to make money selling fish, because they have these lamprey on them. You can kill them. So this is a lamprey. There's a lot of them up in Lake Superior. That's what one of these videos is about. They're invasive species up there. And then the next picture is a hagfish. Doesn't that look fun? Look at his eyeballs. No offense, guys, but you're not the prettiest things out there. Like, look at this. They don't have any jaws, so they have these suckers. That's what they do, is they attach on. And then these are sharks and their relatives called chondrichthyes, sharks, skates, and rays. So we will talk about those tomorrow. Let me know if you have questions.